Good day to all the students. I'll be doing a couple of lectures with regards to water and water usage on farms. So let's get started. I think, as we all know, water is essential for human existence, and we all use a lot of water daily. So because of that, we need to implement ways to effectively use this water, and especially save water. So we've got these water shortages and also high costs if we want to use water, and in order to minimize that, we need effective methods to protect the water. So some of these practices that is being implemented is effective management of irrigation water, measuring to determine the amount of water available for irrigation, maintenance of irrigation infrastructure, and then ensuring that the available water reaches the fields. So we need to manage the water effectively in terms of the amounts of water that we are using. We determine the amount of water available so that we know how much we have to use, and then maintenance of irrigation infrastructure, just making sure that we don't have leakages, or we don't use methods of irrigation that is not effective, which in other words wastes water, and that also ties in with ensuring that the water reaches the fields. So in South Africa, we have the National Water Act of 1998, and that Water Act is important in making sure that water is used effectively, and also to distribute or regulate the allocation of water between different sectors. So the government sees the water in the country as a commodity that needs to be managed efficiently and effectively, and therefore it decides where to allocate the water and how to effectively use it. So that is the main objective, is to ensure that the water resources are protected. They are used, developed, managed, and controlled in a sustainable and fair manner to benefit all the inhabitants. And under that, there's a couple of sub-objectives. So it provides water for basic human and ecological needs, and it promotes effective, sustainable, and beneficial use of water, social and economical development for the improvement of living standards, and then prevention of pollution and decline of water sources, and then also planning and directives for the management of floods and droughts. So at the top, we've got the government, if I can put that down. So the government is at the top, the Department of Water Affairs and Forestry, and they've got some catchment management agencies. So if I can put that there, under them. Okay, and so we've got a couple of different regions in the country, and different regions have different amounts of water available to them, or different sectors that need more water than other sectors in that specific region. So that's why we've got 18 different catchment management agencies or areas in the country. And then under them, we've got these water user associations. So what happens is, if you're an irrigation farmer, then you become a member of one of these water user associations, and because you are one of these water user associations, you get permission to use a certain amount of water. So the amount of water, if I can go to this slide, the amount of water is determined by the CMA. So they develop these strategies, and they indicate water allocation plan in consultation with the role players. And so you have tariffs that you have to pay, as someone that's using the water, and those include cost to water supply, maintenance cost, admin cost, and development cost. And so, in order to use this water, you need a permit, or you need to become a member of one of these water user associations. So the issuing of these water permits is subject to certain requirements. So what's important is the protection of water resources, water management, so just using water effectively, backflow and wastewater. So that refers to maybe dirty water or unclean water. It needs to effectively be transported to a different location, and then membership is important to one of these associations, like these water user associations. And then lastly, it's important to have an environmental impact assessment. So it's compulsory when you are doing one of the following. So if you want to construct any canals or pipelines from a river, you need to have an environmental impact assessment done. Construction of a dam on your farm, underground water extraction, so that's for a borehole or something like that, you need assessment done. And then changing of land use, so if you've got a field that you want to convert into a land for agricultural use, then you need one of these studies done in order to get a permit. And I think that's all for today. Thanks.